Meeting called to order at 6:06. I have the notes of the previous meeting on July 25th to approve.
So moved.
There's a second.
Sure, we had Phoebe on Facebook, so she's in attendance, just so.
All right. So we move in second. Is there any comments or concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, does she have, can she hear what we're doing?
Yes, I can hear what you're doing.
All right, thank you.
Phoebe, did you vote to approve?
I did not vote because I had not had a chance to look at them. So I abstained on that one.
Okay. All right, correspondence. We have a correspondence letter in the packet. And that's not it. Too much paper. Just had it here a second ago. There we go. It was actually addressed to Elaine. It is from LV Blair about properties in town. You can read it as you'd like. They're not asking for anything from us at this point. All right. Next, we have correspondence from Steve Frisk. We have new business, and that is presentation and town hall use request. And there's another new business for town hall use. All right. Down to correspondence. I guess we'll do Steve. Effective.
I think it's in the envelope, I'm sure it's in the
No, I was looking at it just a minute ago. It's in the it's still in the packet somewhere. Anyway, we won't have suspenseful night. He's resigned effective the 25th of August. And we'll be starting the process of finding a new person to fill his position.
Who's doing what?
Steve Frisk.
He's not going to be there?
He resigned.
He's putting in a letter of resignation starting August 25th.
Thank you.
And I do believe we need a motion to carry this through, so I would entertain, or I would make the motion to approve Steve's letter of resignation starting August 25th.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, 5-0. All right, he's not going to be here tonight for this meeting, so we'll have no highway report. Treasurer's report. That was the one with the treasurer's report. You have in front of you claim costs for insurance for the last 6 months. 6 months?
It's a quarter.
It's a quarter. Okay. And the insurance bill is quite high. But this is what they paid out in that time. Now I'm finding crap that I wanted to find earlier. Okay, here we go. So in the municipal investment fund, we have $1,272,805.90. And then we have in the checking account, okay, it says $156,161.70. The next thing is the fund balance. This is the
General fund.
yeah, general fund. This is where we take everything that we have standing and take it out of the money that we have to run things, and that was $464,618. The report from the town clerk. Let's make sure I get all of it here. $1,314.65. All right. Okay. Next up, did I have that in the right place? Katie, why don't you go ahead with the warrants?
I'd like to make a motion to pay the warrants. Number 1, payroll in the amount of $11,536.85. Number 2, payroll taxes in the amount of $6,171.26. Number 3, general fund in the amount of $10,446.63. Number 4, highway in the amount of $11,741.10. Number 5, highway equipment in the amount of $3,483.68, for a total of $43,379.52.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of paying the check warrants totaling $43,379.52, signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. That was taken care of, that was taken care of. Get over here, dude. Those are the policy issues. Got the warrants. All right, as usual, I'm looking for something that's right in front of me. Let's see. Reports are done. Old business. This is the policy that was written, or proposed policy that was written on name changes of roads. Specifically, a gentleman wanted to change a name of a road in West Townsend that he wants to change it to something that has his name on it. And loosely, the issue is that the town has never authorized a change of a name of a road. If the road has been named in recent history for 911 purposes because they hit the threshold of number of houses on that road, we've done that. But we've never authorized the changing of a road name without, well, didn't you say you never heard of it?
I haven't in my time, but it has been brought up, I think, before in the past, but never one was actually changed.
Okay.
From what I can understand from talking to other people that have been part of this for a while.
Sherwood, at the meeting that you weren't at, I think it was Katie made a motion to develop a policy on road name change, because there was a lot of discussion going on. I think Rob had volunteered to try to draft something, so that is what that's the product of that.
Yeah, we decided that we couldn't possibly vote on it if we didn't know what our own policy was gonna be about it, so we.
So the motion was to develop a policy by the fall, right, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
And
And
that's
this
the
is the
first
first draft.
swipe at a draft policy.
All right. Well, I guess we need it more in depth. I'm not comfortable with signing on to this because we set a precedent. And if we set a precedent, what's going to stop the guy on the next road and the next road and the next road, and 5 years later, another road. And I think we're looking at a situation that could be very difficult to back off of. You know, I can see it, there are going to be all kinds of, well, you were friends with that person and you just allowed that to happen when you denied mine or whatever. I think we're better off leaving it the way it is, where you have a new road come in and based on E911, and then you can develop what the road name is going to be, and if it matches some civility, basically not having names that are, let's see, less attractive. I think that's where we should go. But as far as I'm concerned, if you want to develop it out from that input and come back with it in the fall, can't hurt.
Yeah, make a motion to table the decision to adopt the road name change policy to possibly 2 or 3 meetings from now, and that way we can go through this and figure out, kind of all come together and figure out what should be added, taken away, or come up with some sort of an idea of, this is a draft, this wasn't the final thing, so.
I'd second that.
So can you just say what that was again? The motion was to table
To
it
table
for 2
it.
or 3 meetings?
Yes.
Give it a month. And yeah, I agree, Sherwood, this is pretty bare bones. I'd be curious to see what the E911 coordinator's process is. If they're being very discerning or if they're just kind of giving their permission, because that would be my main concern is, making sure the services can get there when they want to. But yeah, maybe there's more nuanced discussions to have about how do we stop an onslaught of people changing their names. I'm not sure how, but yeah.
The thing is if you set a precedent with anything, and I've tried for most of my time here to make sure that we're not setting a precedent that isn't reasonable. You start down that road, you're going to have everybody want to have the road named after them. You're going to have everyone like a person, like the license plates that have their names on them and things like that. And it's going to create a mess.
There may be a discussion about the Library of Congress or some historical societies who maybe actually have precedents. They probably have examples.
We've had that happen here in town,
Right,
and,
yeah.
and that was a very involved process to get that accomplished. And, maybe if this works its way out, maybe that's the type of thing we need to go. With that one, you had to have what the names of the road had been, if they were on Indian territorial lands, and that went back, nobody could say, but that went back clearly 100 years. If there were people in the town who were on that land that were indigenous, or there was I think there were Chinese people in this area that worked some of that land, but we're talking 100 years ago. So, okay, well, we have a motion to table. Do we have a second?
Second, yeah.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. 4, 0, and 1.
Well, I don't think that Phoebe's necessarily abstaining. I don't know what she's doing.
I am happy to abstain on that one, thank you.
Okay. Next up. Proposed policy for the use of the common in the town hall. And this is not ready yet, so this one's going to be tabled as well at this point.
And Sherwood, you and I should make some time at some point, because I have a draft as well. And including the update, part of why I had tabled mine was the policy currently lists the town hall and the common. The town hall and the common. And so anyway, just looking to update it with new details, etc. So we should touch base before we put something out.
All right. I've got Katie working on some things too with the same issue. So entertain a motion to table the policy on the common and in the town hall.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All right, 5-0. Okay, those two are done. All right. We have a couple requests for the use of, what's this one? Proposed use form. Let's see. The common for a food shelf meeting.
This is just to confirm that that was approved. Sure, with this is.
Oh, yes, that's right. This one was approved. This was the one that we had looked at prior. So that's all set. Thank you. West River SnoGoers, this one also approved. Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation. Are any of you folks from there?
That's me.
That's you. Okay. What do you have?
So,
First, you gotta state your name, please.
Sure.
Okay.
my name is Rachel Shields Ebersole. I'm with the Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation. I work on community projects, and one of the things that we're working on is a program that we're calling So Vermont Get On Board to really increase the pipeline for local leaders. I mean, you all have experienced, probably everyone in this room has experienced that it can be hard to get volunteers on boards, for commissions, just for when you need people to help get things done. And part of that is, you know, people do things because they're asked, like you mentioned, you know, you volunteered at the book sale or because someone invited you. But another thing is people just need to be equipped with knowledge, like how does it work? How would I get involved? What does it mean to be on the select board? You know, you might think, well, this is a position of great power, and then you get on the select board and you discover that mostly, you know, it's the budgeting. So we're doing a program in the fall all over southern Vermont. We'd love to use Townshend as one of our locations to do like a Saturday 10 to 3 in October. So October 21st, 10 to 3 is the request. And we'd also, side note, just love your help getting the word out. We'd love you to maybe if you have interested community members, to send some of them to the program to help develop that pipeline. So that's that. I do have a little flyer if that would be helpful, if you'd like to see.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Would you like one?
Oh, yes, thanks.
Okay.
Now, is any of this, if there's a town, it's a town group, Facebook page, is there any problem publishing this on?
We would love that, please, yes. As many times as you want.
Okay.
Do you have extra flyers that would be put on, like at the library or on bulletin boards or anything like that?
Yeah, I would love that. So I guess if you want to take your flyer home, take it home. But if you wouldn't mind putting it up on a bulletin board, that'd be great. And if you need more, we can send you the file to print out some more too.
Okay, so you want the use of the common on October 21st from 9:30 to 3:30, and the event's 10 to 3.
Mm-hmm. The town hall.
You said what?
For the town hall.
For the town hall. Okay. How many people are you thinking that will come to this?
We're hoping to have a cohort of about 25.
Okay. What concerns me is the upstairs. People, if there are people that have problems walking, or there's no way for them to get upstairs. So that would mean that this room would be what you're talking about. We can certainly do 25 people, but if 45 people show up, that's not gonna work.
No, I don't think they would, and we would know far in advance. Applications are due by the end of September. So, I mean, we would cut it off before it was.
If you can find the people that can move on their own, to be assistants, or however this is gonna work, you can use the upstairs, as long as it's not subject to the open meeting law.
Okay.
And they can get up there without an elevator. That's the only kind of proviso.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I don't know the makeup of the cohort at the moment, so we'll certainly see how that's going. So if the event was in this room, it would be subject to open meeting law, is that what you're saying?
No, this is an open meeting law. That's why we can't use the upstairs, because they're not ADA
Oh, I see.
compliant. We're not ADA compliant to go up those stairs. People have to be able to get their mode of transfer and carry it with them, and most people just wouldn't be lugging a wheelchair up there.
Right, of course.
So, anybody have any comments or anything you'd like to say? Oh, okay. All those if you do, I can entertain a motion to allow the Community Credit Corporation to use the town hall on October 21st from 9 to 3:30 p.m. I'll add on there, you must clean it up. Just 1 second, I won't forget you. You must clean it up and take it out. You know,
Okay.
You bring it, you take it, okay?
No problem.
And, go ahead, Laura.
Isn't there a policy about having to have insurance?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
included in?
Hadn't got there, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Just checking.
We got the, okay, we've got it. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the Community Credit Corporation, the use of the building on Saturday, October 21st.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, or is there any further comment?
Are we applying the fee to it or not?
What type of an event is it?
Well, it'll be sort of a class. We'll also have lunch. We'll have 2 presenters and breakout groups, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So we do have budget for the facility. We're happy to pay if you'd like us to. If you want to waive the fee, any of that, that budget can go towards a scholarship for a participant. So it's really, either way, it's fine with us.
Okay. Anything further?
What kind of fee for participants is there?
It's $150 to participate.
Okay.
And we are asking towns to consider sponsoring members as well.
Okay, well, current policy that we have, you would probably get a fee for using it. What is it listed on there? What's it?
I think $50.
$50, okay. Was there one of a deposit that we keep? Or that we, I can't remember.
Is it in the new one?
The old one.
It's in the new one. It says a $100 fee payable to town Townsend will be required for an individual, group, party, or organization using town common. Oh, that's not the building though. Is this to include both though? Because this is the only policy we have.
Is that the new policy, is that the old policy?
This is the old policy which is still active.
Why didn't I know you would have that?
This is Phoebe. I would like to make a motion to waive the fee for BDCC in order to sponsor a student to attend the program, attend the opportunity, and to grant BDCC use of the town hall.
You're a little late. We'll have to settle what's here, and then we can bring that up. Let's see, who made the motion?
Nobody's making.
No,
I
somebody.
moved, and then it was seconded, now we were discussing, so we just have to vote on it.
Okay. In order to include Phoebe's motion,
In order
Oh,
to-
sorry,
in
realize the
order to
motion was already
include
out.
Her motion, you need to amend the motion to add her motion into it.
I didn't realize there was already a motion on the floor, so I will withdraw my motion based on the discussion that is already there.
okay. All right. The motion's on the floor. It's been seconded. All right, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the request to use the town hall, signify by saying aye.
With the fee or without the fee?
With the fee.
The motion doesn't refer to the fee.
All right.
The current motion doesn't
Well, the
refer.
current motion would apply to the policy. So the
Yeah.
policy is for $100, and we either waive it or not waive it.
The
So-
motion on the table is just to
Is to
approve
approve it, so they would pay the $100.
unless there's another one there.
Okay. Everybody clear with that?
Yep.
All right. All right. All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Opposed?
Aye.
Phoebe, I heard just a pop.
That was aye,
Okay.
as in, yeah.
All right. So it's 4-1. Did you say you
I'm against it.
against it?
Yeah.
Okay. So 4-1.
I think it's 3-2.
3-2.
She's
Does
not
that vote
voted.
in?
I think she meant aye to no.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I got.
Yeah. All right. You can use the thing. We'll need $100 for that. And you can bring it in to Connie, or this is Connie right here. Or, actually, no, just bring it to Connie. She'll see you get it to where it needs to go. Okay?
Great, thank you.
All right. Thank
Side
you.
note, if you want help with getting funding sources for a new gazebo, we can help you, so.
Okay.
We
Thank
have
you.
a gazebo committee that's working on that, if you want to get in touch with them, Connie knows when the next meeting is.
Okay, great, thank you.
Connie, why don't you see if Elaine can put this up on Townsend Families? Do we have another one of the things floating around? Another
haven't.
Facebook page?
I think that's the only one, isn't it?
The active one.
I don't know who runs it.
All right, well, see if we can get that up on Townsend Families. Sounds like something that would be interesting.
And I think it would be good to keep one, or give one to Karen for the library. Karen
Yeah,
says that a lot of people
absolutely.
ask
Yeah,
her about
absolutely.
stuff like that at the library.
You need an extra one, you can take this.
I was just gonna make other copies, but if anybody doesn't need it, I'll.
I don't need it, especially if it's going up on that. All right, next, just sidebar issue. Does the board wish me to sign it and representing all of the board?
Yes, please.
Make a motion to allow Sherwood to sign the town hall use without us all signing.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So is this a policy or is this just a form saying that these people can use the town hall?
With her collecting money, with the idea of people going to this Southern Vermont, or the Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation situation. So they're making money. We're following suit by renting this out. When it comes to the stuff that is, nobody's making any money, we're not charging. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Well, that's, I shouldn't ask if it makes sense. That's what we got going on.
Okay, so it's signed. Would you like a copy of this,
Oh, sure, yes, thank you.
Connie, if you wouldn't mind, one way? All right, next one is Michelle Bostrom and Elaine Hill. And this is for August 19th. Only need the rain date. Now, are you talking about, first of all, which one? There you are, hi. Are you talking about the town hall, is what you're looking for?
Yes,
And what is this incident, or this
event.
event?
It's a wedding shower
The wedding shower?
for my daughter, yes.
Oh,
That's great.
congratulations. Do you have the insurance policy?
I attached it.
Yeah, it's not there, but that's okay. Usually they ask for it.
I'd make a motion to allow Michelle Bostrom and Elaine Hill to use the town hall on August 19th,
Wonderful.
1 to 4.
And this is because you're banking on it raining, or
I don't
you're
want
just
it to
banking
rain.
on it?
We will, if it's nice weather, we have a spot down at our house and we'll have it outside.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is just a backup. With the weather this summer, I wanted to make sure I had a plan.
Yeah, you could be under 6 feet of water, the way it's going. Okay, so we have a motion on the table to allow Michelle Bostrom and Elaine Hill the use of the town hall on August 19th. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further, anything further?
We'd be waiving the fee too.
Waiving the fee. Okay? We set with that? Okay. So hearing no further, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, 5-0. Thank you. Signing, we're all set? You're all set with signing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just pass that off.
Thank you.
Good luck. we'll go into an executive session.
Did any of the members of the public have anything to bring up?
Yes, actually, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I should have sent you some sort of email about a grievance that would like to air, but I was advised to come to the select board meeting, so.
Okay, well, we're here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, well, my name is Kara Kane and I live at 266 Tannery Brook Road in West Townsend, and this is my neighbor Edna Ortiz, and she also lives on Tannery Brook Road. It's a private road, but we've been having a lot of problems with road washout and flooding, specifically from Back Wyndham, which runs up behind my property and onto our road as well. I've called Steve Fisk multiple times about it, and he told me that I could come to the select board meeting. He also, had said that he's busy, and I've asked him to come and look at my property because there's 5 culverts that shoot out onto my property from Back Wyndham that over the years have been just not only washed like water, but like road debris. And as Back Wyndham washes out, all that road washes down onto my property to the point where I can't even use my back. I have 10 acres of land and I can't even get to it because there's so much washout. And so I'm here. I have an album of like 45 pictures that I could email to you of the property, and now it's affecting our road as well, is washing out, so.
What was the person that came last time from?
Townshend Acres.
No, okay, not the same acre. Okay.
One of the culverts is actually very close to where my leach and septic field are, and that last year on July 30th, when we had a lot of rain, that dumped a whole bunch of road debris onto that spot, which we had to dig out by hand because we don't have a tractor or anything like that. Also caused a lot of water to back up into my house. I do feel like, I understand he said that, previous owners had signed off on culverts on the property, but I do feel like that the town should be responsible for what happens to that water and road debris when it comes onto my property. I feel like because we live in a valley and it's not seen, it's not in the public eye, that if it was like a flat field, then people would see it and they would, it would be more visible, the amount of washout that's happening.
I respect what you're saying, but I'm not sure that's the case. One of the things that we've been having a lot of trouble with this rain is the actual path of the water coming off of these things is changing. It's from washouts, it's from natural, natural events. So, did you have damage out of this storm?
I've had damage out of this past storm. I have damage with...
No, this last storm, the one that's screwed up the entire state.
We did have the damage from the road, that's mostly what it is, but there's just continuous road washout that's happening. It's hard to monitor in some places how much road is washing out from this storm or that storm, because it's like a pile. It's literally, they'll come up and drop a bunch of material on the road and fix whatever they're trying to fix up there, and then it will wash out onto my property a giant mound of gravel and debris.
Yeah.
And there are also culverts that are shooting water onto trees that will eventually rot, and then when that tree rots, what is happening to that tree? It's gonna fall on my property. I also had pictures during the winter time, because in the winter time, a bunch of ice forms around there and the culverts don't work and the debris goes around the culverts and goes down into my property.
Well, here's the first thing I can give you for how to start. Call Vermont 211.
I did do that, and I did leave them messages, and I haven't heard back from them.
Okay. Believe me, I've heard it before. Okay, then call FEMA. There's a phone number around here for FEMA, and talk to them directly. They'll put you on the paperwork that's necessary, or the list that's necessary. Have a FEMA inspector come out there and start reviewing it. I'm sure they won't pay for everything, but they might get you, you know, a hydrologist or somebody that can tell you what needs to be done, and they might even fund it. You never know. But you need to do that quickly, because you've only got,
September 4th or something?
yeah, do you have that number?
I do, hold on, I don't have it with me.
If you ladies that are having a problem,
We also have another neighbor, Paul Bousquet, who's not here, so we're also speaking.
no, I believe it, there's been all kinds of a mess, all the way through town, and, the highway department is busy, they're trying to get it ready for winter, which is quite a battle in itself. So if you would give, Katie, your name, your phone number, she can get back to you with the phone number directly through to FEMA. And that's the place to start. If 211 won't answer, go right straight to FEMA.
So FEMA said that they're in the area for about another month. And they said that, so we had an issue with someone else with a similar problem recently. And the town doesn't enter private property, but I understand what you're saying about the culvert and the water and the material that we're putting on our road. So we had a meeting with, I can say that, that's fine. We had a meeting with FEMA last week, and this came up. Like, well, there's road material washing onto private property. What, you know, is this something you cover, or how does this work? Now, they said that mostly what they do is houses, structures, that kind of thing. However, they have a wealth of resources. Once they do their intake with you, and they're in the area, so they're actually able to come to your house, as opposed to if you waited longer, they're not gonna be able to come and do their inspection and everything. And they have all sorts of other programs on top of what they do that can help mediate the situation, get you money if you need it for removal, get the people there to remove it, things like that. And so they explained to me that you call the number, or you can go online and do it, but when you call the number, you're actually speaking to a human being, you're not typing to just a computer, which I thought was helpful because every situation is unique. And that they're still in our area, so that they will come out, and they can even do the intake with you there, like at your property at the time. And they do have a lot of other resources that they can, like, I forgot which, well then, it wasn't the USDA, but it was something like that, where they said they had like different programs that help with that kind of infrastructure when it washes onto properties. I forgot what it was, but they had all the information, and then they're able to explain it to you better than I am.
Okay, so my question is though, so the town is not responsible then for, because I'm concerned that this is just constantly happening over and over again, not just with these, it's been for about 4 years now that it's been happening. And I don't know, you probably are familiar with Backwindow, but it's a very steep road, and all the water is just, there's 5 culverts that are onto my property and then nothing for quite a while. So my property is taking a brunt of the road, of the water and debris that's washing down from Backwindow Road. And to the point, and when I've lived there for about 10 years, and 10 years ago wasn't an issue. Now it's carving out deep trenches onto my property where I can't get back there. And I don't really, I feel like the town should be, at least somebody should come out and look at it. I've asked Steve to come and look at it multiple times, and he's too busy.
Well, I'll go look at it. I don't know if I can give you any answers. I can tell you this, we've been told that we can't make repairs on private property, and that
Well,
can't
I
go to
don't,
state.
okay, but then you should be responsible for your culverts and how they're washing out the road debris onto my property. That's town property,
But if
right?
you go to that point, now, water flows downhill. You're at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
It's like, would you expect us to remove the culverts and have it go to the bottom of the hill? Or
No, but
is it the easiest path?
you could put some culverts in to where the water is washing. I understand that there's a brook there, and the natural course of water is to go down and into the brook. But you could put some culverts across that way, across my property that the water's cutting into, and feed that into the brook. So I'm not my property's not washing away because the water and debris is just piling down that way.
When we end up doing that, if we ended up doing that, then we end up holding the responsibility of keeping the culvert clean for the duration of time. If we took all this on, there's 900 parcels of property in the town of Townshend thereabouts. It's like maybe 600 of them are dwellings.
Okay.
So it's like we get into a part where now all of a sudden we're responsible for 600 different parcels of property of maintaining water, you know, easements and all this other stuff. And it's just feasibly not really.
But it is, but you do need the property owner's permission to put a culvert onto their property?
Because the culvert's going in the town's right away. We have a 50-foot, the state has a 50-foot right of way, 25 from the middle of the road going either way.
Right.
And that's where.
So I don't feel
So
like that's
listen,
very
that's where
fair that the town they conveniently can use their right of way to put a culvert that washes out water and debris on my property, but I have no say in what's going on that. I don't feel like that's fair. Like you can just.
So what would, if you had your say, what would you want us to change where the culverts are? Or
I would like, well, yeah, I would like someone to see that there's a culvert that is, I mean, what happens when the one culvert that is feeding down near my leach field and my septic tank blows that out? I'm just, that's my deal, that's my problem. You know, like, I do want somebody to come out and look at what I'm talking about, because there's a lot of road, I have 50 pictures on my
I know him
phone.
for a long time, and I know where he lives and that whole entire area. But what my point is that the water has to go somewhere.
Yeah, I
And it's
agree.
like, we can't have it channeled to the very bottom of the hill to one huge culvert. Because then you've got Will Bissonette, and you've got, you know, all the different people that are down on that end. And it's like, are they just, and then they're gonna be over here saying, well, you know, and it's like, chances are those culverts were there long before the last 10 years.
Right, and then I'm also wondering, have they been replaced? Have they been repaired? And if so,
If
has
they're
it been
plastic,
in
then they've
kind?
been replaced.
In kind? Have they
Well,
replaced them with
in-
larger culverts because they decided that all of a sudden they are dealing with more water and road debris and washout, and replace those culverts with larger ones to handle that?
State specs are 18 inches, the smallest culvert that we can put into any road. So it's gotta be an 18-inch culvert if it's plastic. If it's metal, then yes, there could be a chance that you go replace it with something different. If it's,
They are mostly plastic ones.
okay, so their chances are they're 18-inch culverts, and we went into Better Roads grant probably 10 years ago, whatever it was, and that's when the state did away with metal culverts, and we had to put in plastic culverts. And where the placement of the culverts are is usually where they've been since the culverts were put in however many years ago.
Well, it's interesting that I had a conversation with Steve about it, and he said that they needed property owner's permission. And I'm sure that if that's the case, like, I'm not saying that he didn't get our permission, that they were there before I moved in, but it just, now I'm hearing a different story about that at least.
Well, I'm not giving you a different story, I'm just telling you kind of the chronological order of how things have operated when it comes to the culverts. And, you know, it's, you know, I mean, if somebody goes out there and looks and says an 18-inch culvert isn't good enough, it needs to be 24 or 30-inch or whatever it is, so be it.
My other question is our culverts, is that the only solution that we have for the roads and what's happening with all this washout? Because my feeling is that that's not working, that the road continuously washes out, that the trees, the large trees that are there holding up as a barrier are all rotting and dying. Those are gonna fall apart, and then what happens to that side of the road? The town's constantly bringing material up and just kind of patching up repairs, and I feel like it's just putting a Band-Aid over something that's not solving the issue, and we are carrying the brunt of that as it washes down the hill over and over again.
I think that it would be wise of you to drive to some of these other towns and see what's going on their roads, because all of us are in the same boat.
I understand that, but
Where
this
it's like, I
is
mean, every single one of
continuously
these
happening
roads.
for me, not
That's what I'm
just,
getting to, is that it's continuously happening for you, as well as your neighbor, up the road, down the road, side to side. I mean, it's going on everywhere, and it's like one of these things that isn't really, I mean, water's gonna flow downhill. It's gonna take the path of least, resistance, and it's like, it's kind of going on everywhere. And I mean, it's part of, so to speak, part of living where you live. I mean, you bought a piece of property and it's like, stuff's coming down, and it's not the easiest thing to swallow down, but at the same time, there isn't anything that the road crew, the select board, or anybody else can do if we get 2-3 inch rainstorms that come rolling in and completely pound things. The only thing different could be paved. Past that, and you're not the only person that's dealing with this.
I understand that I'm not the only person that's dealing with it, but it is a constant issue, and so I'm voicing my concern about it, and it's not that I don't feel like, for other people who are dealing with it as well, but I do feel like that somebody can come out and look at what I'm talking about at least, without just...
Can't promise you anything, but I'll be happy to come out and look at it and see if there's anything that can be done. I'm not, just be clear, I'm not giving you any hope that we can get it done. Did you have a major washout 2 years ago in July? Because every one of those were basically edge of the road type things that...
We had a washout last year in July, I believe. That's what the pictures, that's what I have. Last summer, I believe it was. Not necessarily 2 years ago, but there's a lot there, so.
It was all over town. It was all over town. But I would, if I were you, get on the phone tomorrow morning and get in touch with FEMA and at least get your claim in that there's a problem. And they will come and address it in some way and give you a little list of people that might be able to help it. That's about all I can offer you tonight. I would get the person that you said didn't make it here and we give him the same information. And let's go from there and see what we can find out. All right? Don't have all the answers, buddy. We hear you, we're listening. Okay. If you wouldn't mind giving her your information. And let's see if we can set up something to go out there and look.
We also didn't start off, can you state your name for the camera?
I did, Kara Kane.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's also a program through the state of Vermont. You mentioned septic issues. They have a hydrologist or somebody who will come out and look at it. I know that they're actually even willing to give funding for certain income levels, but I know that Vermont's very active with their water rights, so you might want to reach out to the state as well.
My septic is okay right now, it's just, it's in danger of being washed out by the culvert, so.
It's probably what's gonna have to be done is some kind of hydraulic study in order to find a way to change that. But there may not be a way to change it. It's just where you live, and if you're getting these problems now, they're not going to be mitigated the way the thing sets. So we had a lady in here a couple months ago with the same type of issue. That one was easy to fix. It was just a plugged storm drain. But we'll do what we can.
Okay.
Okay.
This is I found the FEMA flyer, which I'm happy to email to you if you want to give me your email, but they said there's 3 ways to do it. You can go to the FEMA app, disasterassistance.gov, or you can call the 800 number. And they assured me it's a human being that you speak to on the 800 number.
Okay, so.
Call the 800 number.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And they're in the area till, I believe they said September 4th.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't mind writing that down.
Yeah, I'll write mine.
And give it to Connie and
Yeah.
we'll figure it in. Do we have anybody else? Well, you're always good for something, Laurel. Anything else?
Well, you unloaded my gun?
I wanted to do the, yeah, I tell you, you guys got to pull it in that one. Yeah, I was here about, I was interested in the common use policy thing, but that's kind of like, but that's okay, it's always interesting to listen.
Do you know if Ally got those pictures that I sent out to her?
I don't know.
Is it
I was
the
going
gazebo
through some
coming
stuff
down?
right now, so.
Huh?
Is it of the gazebo
Yeah.
cup? Yeah, she told me she did.
Sure, good.
Yeah, she was pleased.
I haven't heard from her.
Okay.
Corey, do you have anything?
I have nothing. Except to say, as Robin knows, Robin and I have known each other for a while. My wife and I live, and our daughter, who's now grown, we are actually up on West Hill Road. As Rob knows, we are literally the last home in Townshend on West Hill Road, which, as you might imagine, when we moved in, presented all sorts of problems with 911 and everybody else thinking, "No, you're in Wardsboro." And I said, "No, we're not in Wardsboro. We pay taxes to Townshend, and our address is Townshend." So that's where we are, and I am, as most of you know, I've been able to get in touch with everybody except Rob and Phoebe. I'm just, all I want to do is sit down with you sometime and talk about where you see our historic town headed. And I've decided to come out of the shadows and volunteer. I don't want anything, I don't need anything, I'm not looking for anything, I'm just here to help.
If it keeps going, you're gonna be the flat part of Townsend. A lot of lakefront property.
Yeah, I know. We're lucky to be on the hill, I know.
Except for that nice long trip all the way around the bridge.
Yeah, that's terrible. But it's being fair, I can tell you, Steve's not here, so I can report to you all that they were out there today, that on Bridge 41, that they are going to put the concrete in tomorrow. It's got to set over the weekend, and so by the beginning to the middle of next week, we should be open.
That's what Steve had told me, like, it wants it to set for a week, and everybody can use the road or have full access to the road, probably by next.
Yeah, when I heard, wow, it's going to be a real pain to go around, I thought, oh, how much of a pain can it be? It adds 25 minutes. It adds 25 minutes to get to Dam Road from going around. And I made the mistake the other night of coming from Brattleboro that way. And what was he thinking,
My
right?
husband has to add 25 minutes to his arrival time just going on Route 30 every day.
I know, Route 30 is
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, but I guess this is all sign of progress, especially Route 30.
Well,
It can't come quick enough though to finish the finished product. Thank you, Ralph, for asking me.
John, how you doing?
All good.
All good.
All good.
Okay, we have that was the last thing, we have a executive session meeting to go forward, and it was scheduled for personnel. So I entertain a motion to close the regular meeting and move into executive session for a short discussion. Gail, there won't be any, report. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.